So welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video, guys. And yeah, as you all already know, it saddens me a bit as we finally reached the ending of part of this series. The next chapter will be the last chapter of the Tokyo Revengers manga. And so in today's video, we're going to discuss about the entire chapter 277 in detail, as we already talked about some of the panels in the spoiler video. In this single chapter, we saw Takemichi and Mikey creating a happy and a safe future for everyone. Yeah, they saved everyone from dying. And they didn't let anyone to manipulate them and corrupt the Toman gang. Mikey and Takemichi together really worked so hard for this. But unfortunately, they didn't show much details related to this to us. I was interested to know, how did they create this future? What made it possible? What are the chain of actions that took place that led to such a peaceful future? It would have been good if they showed us these things. Because every character has a lot of potential in them. But now, it feels like the story is so rushed. And they just wanted to end the manga as soon as they could. Basically, in Tokyo Revengers series, most of the characters suffered real bad. Everyone has their own unique sad backstory. We never saw anyone be happy all the time. We rarely saw smiles on their faces. Everyone lost someone close to them or had their life ruined by someone. So after all the things they went through, it's so wholesome that the series is ending in such a beautiful note. But still, I have somewhat mixed feelings about the ending. Cause it's kind of too sweet for me. Tokyo Revengers have always been a series full of twists and turns. And suddenly to get such a fairy tale ending seems kind of blatant to me. Also, one more thing that bugs me is Ken Wakui-sensei didn't explain anything clearly about how the time leap works in this chapter. So yeah, before talking about this chapter, as usual guys, I would kindly appreciate it if you can drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go into the video now. So in the previous chapter, we saw Mikey recognized young Takemichi. And initially we were thinking that it was only Takemichi who time leaped into the past. Even though Takemichi didn't know how he time leapt. He was so confused about his own condition. But when Mikey said Takemichi's name suddenly, it was a real shocker to us. As it was kind of unexpected. Because, as per our knowledge so far, we know that only one person can go back in the past. But this time it was quite different. In this timeline, no one knows about Takemichi other than Mikey. Even Shinichiro did not know who Takemichi is. Because he time leaped to 1998, but Takemichi got his time-traveling power from Shinichiro in the year 1999. So this chapter begins with them meeting each other for the first time in a timeline that is different from the final battle timeline. Takemichi is extremely shocked after Mikey told his name. And then, both of them become very puzzled. Mikey thought it was only him who time leaped. And the same goes for Takemichi too. Mikey kind of understood everything based on Takemichi's actions. Because in this timeline, Takemichi knows about Mikey. Unlike the other timeline, where Takemichi didn't know who Mikey is. So, as soon as he time leaped, Takemichi went to visit Mikey's house to check on him. Then, after their first interaction, Mikey asks Takemichi, "Is it really you?" Then Takemichi also understands based on the way Mikey talks. That Mikey too has memories from the past timeline. That's why both of them were too stunned to speak. Mikey literally could not believe this after this. Both of them exclaimed, "We both time leaped." Like I said before, it's so damn unexpected. I never thought something like this could even happen. We all know Mikey killed Takemichi. So maybe he got his time leaping ability from Takemichi. But Mikey was not even on the verge of death. So I wonder if he got the powers just by killing the time leaper. Maybe Takemichi could time leap by activating Mikey's trigger before his death. And then, Takemichi willingly gave his time leaping powers to Mikey before dying. And that's why Mikey could travel back in time too. I know guys, it's too much to take it, but sadly yeah, that's what happened. It definitely needs a separate arc. I'm just not satisfied with so many things happening in one chapter. Still, since there's no official explanation for this incident yet, I can't say for sure if Takemichi gave his powers to Mikey or did Mikey get his powers by killing Takemichi. Anyway, I kinda liked the whole new idea of both of them leaping into the past. So many problems would have been solved if two people could time leap to the past like this. Anyway, both Mikey and Takemichi are happy about this. Mikey sheds a tear after seeing Takemichi. Because he just killed him in the future due to his dark impulse. Even though he didn't want to at all. He's so relieved after he sees Takemichi is alright. And both of them could successfully come back in past. On the other hand, Shinichiro, Emma, Baji and Sanzu don't have the slightest clue about what they're talking about. Their face reactions are so funny here. Even though Shinichiro and Sanzu were once a time leaper and trigger. They basically don't know anything about it. After this, both of them started running together. And it was so fun to watch them so happy after this long. Like them, even we don't know what's going on. But they are super happy about it. And it's kind of weird to see this after what happened in the last arc. Takemichi asks Mikey how this could have happened. And Mikey tells, when I closed my eyes, you were already dead and I was begging you to wake up. When I opened them, I was here. And I have already told this in my previous video. After Mikey slashed Takemichi, Takemichi tried to hold Mikey's hand. But after the next moment he died. So there might be another possibility too. I think Takemichi could have died even before he could activate Mikey as his trigger. But after hearing those kind words, I think it's Mikey who activated his power. Since he killed Takemichi. Anyway, it's my theory. Even though we didn't get any explanation about anything. However, both of them don't care about the details. Since they finally have a chance to change everything. Mikey and Takemichi knows exactly what needs to be changed the past. Takemichi replies, he thought he passed the ability to him. Because after he heard Shinichiro's story. He understands something deep about time leap ability skill. So that's why he tried his best to hold hands with Mikey in that critical time. But he also wonders if they both were able to come back because of that one handshake. But they don't seem to care about it. Also this chapter going on Godspeed level. It's so rushed. Like we get it, there's a deadline or something. But who rushes so much? Here, Mikey asks Takemichi, what should they do from now on? Since they have to prevent so many things. Takemichi tells him. I've been fighting alone my whole life. But I have you now. I already said this, I don't like this scene particularly. Even though there are few people who helped from the beginning like Naoto and Hina, especially Chifu. Honestly. We lost the best friendship in the series. Which is really so sad. I hope to get a small conversation between Takemichi and Chifu in the next chapter. Ken Wakui-sensei did us bad here. I had been a fan of this iconic duo throughout. But it's sad that, in this timeline we won't get this friendship anymore. As we can understand, Chifu and Takemichi are not so close compared to all the other timelines where they were like brothers. However, after this both Mikey and Takemichi decided to change the future together. Then we see a double spread panel. In which they're saying, this is our revenge. Finally, before the series ends, we hear the revenge word once again. Last Takemichi said the same thing during the second Gen Toman gang meeting. And well, to be honest, this journey of revenge was a long, memorable and so far my best one seen so far. Many anime will come and go, but Tokyo Revengers will forever stay. Anyway, we see the scene where they form the Toman gang for the first time. So many people's theories came true. Takemichi officially becomes the Toman founding member. In my opinion, this scene is quite interesting. Because Takemichi tells them he'll invite one of his friend. Then suddenly Kisaki comes to the scene. Which means Takemichi has already befriended Kisaki. After the moment he saved Hina from those middle school goons. Because only after that, Kisaki gets jealous of Takemichi. But they should have shown us that scene. Because it's kinda awkward for me to believe Takemichi is actually friends with someone who caused him and his friends so many problems in other timelines. Since Kisaki is one of the main antagonists, I feel it ruined his character for sure. After this, Mikey invites Sanzu to the Toman gang. This scene is so subtly sweet, and I like that Sanzu also gave in and decided to join them. Because we all know, Sanzu is a great friend to Mikey. And considering how much he cared and loved Mikey, I'm happy for him. After this, we see Shinichiro gifted a bike to Mikey. After all, he's the one who needs to be saved the most. I think, since Shinichiro didn't kill Time Leaper, that's why he isn't cursed by anyone anymore. Maybe, that's why even Kazutora didn't decide to steal bike that fateful night, and thus, in this timeline, maybe it's not Mikey's fault anymore, and thus, we will miss Kazutora's most famous dialogue too. Anyway, finally we see Baji, Shinichiro, and Emma are all saved. I'm really happy for Mikey. But everything is kind of hard to believe for me. How come suddenly everything becomes perfect at the end of the story? If everything was supposed to become okay by the end of the series, what is the use of going through so much in the first place? Anyway, we can talk about the good and bad of this ending in some other video. After they formed the Toman gang, they started to fight other gangs, like the Black Dragon and the Tenjiku gang. Because we know that they're part of the reason Toman become worst organization in the future. Now imagine, wouldn't it be so insane if they would have shown us what happened when Toman faced Tenjiku gang once again? Mikey and Takemichi would have tried to save everyone, including Izana. So definitely, there would have been a fight between Izana and Mikey too. But it would have been somewhat different than what we saw. Whatever, in the end the Toman gang defeats Tenjiku gang once again. After Tenjiku and the Black Dragons were defeated by Toman, they started to operate under the Toman gang as one. They become a part of Toman officially. After this, Toman conquered the whole of Japan. They're the strongest gang in their country. I remember Mikey telling the same thing to Draken once, that they'll conquer the whole Japan. But this time, he has Takemichi with him by his side. I kind of miss the Mikey and Draken duo. But at least, I'm so glad Draken is alive. Even though everything happened so fast. When we can see Takemichi and Mikey crying after they save everyone, we can feel the emotion behind this panel. If this scene gets animated correctly, I'm sure many of us will be teary-eyed as well. After this, we see each and everyone's respective positions in the gang. Some of you have objections regarding the titles some outside members got. So let's discuss this in detail now. Mikey is still president of the Toman gang, as expected. But it's Takemichi who is the acting president. He said he'll become Toman top one day. Now he is. I'm feeling so proud of our main character. He never goes back on his words. And Draken, as usual, is the vice president. And it's really been a long time since we last saw him in the Three Deities arc. Anyway, Kasaki and Hanma, both of them become members of Toman gang. I don't know how and why did Hanma chose to follow Kasaki in this timeline, since Kasaki and him don't have any ulterior motive. Also, I really couldn't understand the mystery surrounding Hanma, as in the end, he's just a normal side character of the series. As usual, Baji and Shifu are Toman 1st Division captain and vice captain respectively. But in this timeline, Shifu didn't help Takemichi in any circumstances. I don't know how their friendship is in this timeline. Hope they are still good friends, if not best friends at least. Mitsuya and Hakai are Toman 2nd Division captain and vice captain. Pachin and Peiyan are Toman 3rd Division captain and vice captain respectively. And, finally, we see Kazutora as Toman 4th Division captain. Since he is a founding member of Toman, so he's also captain. I'm glad to see Kazutora in Toman uniform at last. This brings back so many memories. Sanzu and Senju are the Toman's 5th Division captain and the vice captain. I didn't expect Senju to join Toman gang in this timeline. Finally, we see the iconic siblings together. Also, Sanzu don't have any scars in this timeline, which means there's no dark impulse in Mikey anymore. The curse that led Mikey to act in such a crazy manner is finally not there anymore. Takemichi managed to outdo the curse. Anyway, coming to Toman, the Kawada brothers are the gang's 6th Division captain and vice captain respectively. Also surprisingly, Taiju joined Toman. Since he was the one who was shot by Mikey in the Black Dragon arc, which season 2 is based on. There's no way they can win against Mikey. So yeah, now Taiju is Toman's 7th Division captain. There's no vice captain in his division, since Inupi and Kokonoi always keep fighting with each other. And it's so funny that Taiju couldn't choose between the two. But The most unexpected member is yet to be discussed. And it's Izana. Well, I never thought Izana would ever join Toman. He even wears the Toman uniform. I couldn't believe my eyes at first. Izana and Kikucho are the Toman 8th Division Captain and Vice Captain. And S62 members are the 8th Division members. After everyone joined Toman, Mikey decided to disband the gang. Which is exactly what Shinichiro did once they become the #1 gang in Japan. It was really good and an enjoyable journey. After that, we see the church in the end of the chapter. It's happening 11 years later. As we discussed before, I think it's Takemichi and Hina's wedding. It's his wish to marry her. I would also like to see Draken and Emma's wedding. Since the revenge is officially complete and there's no need for any fighting. So I think, in the next chapter we will see time skip the design of all of the characters. I can't wait for the next chapter. I'm so happy and sad at the same time. It's kind of hard to describe though. Anyway, let's see how series will end. Hoping we get a major plot twist at the end. Kind of a cliffhanger that will keep us all awestruck. Let me know below how you guys feel about this chapter. And any predictions, what will the last chapter of the Tokyo Revengers manga be about? So anyway, if you guys like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And good luck to all.